This is the part of the show you've been waiting for, the cream of the crop of five very talented Mets prospects, starting here with prospect number 5, Carson Benge, the Mets' first round pick of the 2024 draft. Reese, you want to tell the people about Carson Benge?
Yeah, I think Carson Benge is an interesting, yet I don't think he has the sizzle that some of the people that are drafted around him in the draft do. I think that there is enough hit tool, there's enough power, there's enough arm. I think he's probably like a right fielder at the end of the day. I don't think there's going to be crazy amount of speed, but I think it's a very comfortable, safe, high floor with a decent enough ceiling. I think that there's a chance that maybe this is a guy who's maybe like a 260, 270 hitter with 20 to 22, maybe 25 in his best season home runs. He coming out of Oklahoma State, he was kind of there was a little bit on the background, and then his sophomore year he sort of broke out. He's someone who I know we're going to talk about this fantasy upside. I don't think that it's crazy like I mentioned, but he's a contributor by all means. He can definitely be someone who on a good team hits sixth or seventh, maybe fifth, for depending on how things go for him. I think with it being that he's left-handed, there is a lot more advantage for him. They can pick and choose spots better with him as going against more right-handed pitching. But Carson Bench, he's just not the most exciting prospect, but he is a really nice floor play for me in my opinion.
Yeah, he's going to be an interesting guy in your first year player drafts coming up this year. He's going to go somewhere in the top 20 picks. Is everywhere where I've seen him going. Drew, what's the fantasy appeal here for Mr. Bench?
I'm going to gently push back on Reese. And I know that you guys who have watched us all season long will be like, what? They don't have the same opinion on this guy? And it is shocking because Reese and I are generally right in line. I think that just based on what we've seen from Benj in Class A, as well as what we saw at Oklahoma State, I think that we could see a fantasy player kind of in the vein of Alex Gordon or maybe even Andrew Benintendi. I think that this is a guy who will contribute across fantasy categories. I do think that there's enough interesting sauce, so to say, to keep him relevant in the fantasy game for the next, 5 to 8 years. I do like Bench. I think he could be interesting, and I think there's enough validity in the tools to make him so.